thinking something terrible had happened to Shang Yu. She rushed inside to find him and they both stood there, stunned to see each other, learning that she'd left because of what she'd overheard. Shang Yu was furious. He explained he'd been complaining about a difficult patient at the hospital and told her never to disappear like that again. For the first time since their wedding, Hou Ting truly felt his genuine concern and love for her, tears streaming down her face. She was overwhelmed with emotion. Shang Yu pulled his wife into his arms, warning her never to vanish from his life again. Watching her brother and sister-in-law's tender moment, Ruaying felt some of her guilt begin to lift. Not long after Ruaying went hiking, but just as she was about to head back down, she ran into two thugs. Danger was imminent, and in desperation, Ruaying called out her ex-husband, Wu Kai's name. To her complete surprise, Wu Kai actually appeared. Ruaying was both moved and confused, wondering how he could possibly be there. Wu Kai explained that Ruaying's classmate had told him about her solo hiking trip. Worried she might run into trouble, he'd rushed over without even changing his clothes. When he saw her sitting on the mountain lost in thought, he'd waited silently in the cold for an hour, which was why he could show up the instant she was in danger. A wave of warmth swept through Ruaying's heart. On the way down, Wu Kai accidentally slipped and hurt his foot. Seeing his injured palm, Ruaying felt terrible and had to support him as they made their way down the mountain step by step. This was the closest they'd been since their divorce. Wu Kai couldn't resist reaching out to touch Ruaying's forehead, but seeing the awkwardness in her eyes, he quickly pulled his hand back. Ruaying took him to the hospital, where they found it was just a simple sprain. Still worried, she wanted to ask her brother to find a specialist for a second opinion. Everyone thought she was being way too dramatic, not having seen her former sister-in-law in ages. Ruaying wanted to take this chance to apologize to Mei Jing. Mei Jing knew what she was going to say and cut her off before she could start, saying the family had been pretty disappointed to be deceived by the sister-in-law they trusted most. But over time, Mei Jing had come to understand Ruaying's position and didn't want to see her treating herself like a criminal. Mei Jing's words made Ruaying realize that everyone else had already let go of their resentment. She was the only one still stuck in the shadows. Meanwhile, when Uncle Li learned that his daughter's company had just opened and wasn't on solid ground yet, he went to his room and pulled out the money Ruaying had given him 3 years ago to pay off his debts. He figured this was when his daughter needed help most, so he wanted to support her. He went to Ruaying's office, catching her completely off guard. Uncle Li handed her an envelope that Ruaying had long forgotten about. When she opened it, she realized it was the money she'd once given her father to pay his debts. She couldn't believe he'd never used it, which meant he'd worked all these years to clear his debts on his own. The thought made Ruaying both angry and heartbroken.